Information. Zeke, Z for short. Age, 18. Height, 5'8". Gender, male. Species, human. Skills, dragon riding, writing, reading, art. Combat likes, food, friends, books. Dislikes, lies, heat, day. Personality, funny, friendly, overthinker. Sexuality, gay. Alex, age, 17. Height, 5'7". Gender, female. Species, human. Skills, breeding, nursing, archery. Likes, baby dragons, her brother, friends. Dislikes, lies, evil, tall places. Personality, outgoing, energetic, sweet. Sexuality, bi. Baxter, age, 20. Height, 5'9". Gender, male. Species, human. Skills, breeding, running, building. Likes, sleep, alone time, his sister, books. Dislikes, lies, evil, messiness, strangers. Personality, shy, quiet, secretive, sweet. Sexuality, bi. Jack, age, 21. Height, 5'10". Gender, male. Species, human. Skills, dragon riding, fighting, battle tactics. Likes, reading, food, friends, dragons. Dislikes, villains, lies, evil. Personality, cold to new people. If you get to know him, he is nice. Sexuality, bi. Gabriel, age, 25. Height, 5'10". Gender, male. Species, human. Skills, writing, reading, evil, manipulation, blackmail. Likes, power, dragons, magic. Dislikes, heroes, rebels, disorder, freedom. Personality, evil, manipulative, liar. Sexuality, bi. Jasper, age, 20. Height, 5'5". Gender, male. Species, human. Skills, lying, stealing, manipulation. Likes, following, tricking people. Dislikes, truth, being center of attention. Personality, evil, tricky, undercover. Sexuality, straight. Monochrome, mono for short. Dragon form, age, 19. Height, dull gender, male. Species, key dragon. Skills, morph. Elements, flying. Fluent English. Likes, friends, flying, training. Dislikes, evil, bright light, walking. Personality, outgoing, friendly, nice. Rider, Zeke. Sexuality, gay. Storm, dragon form, age, 17. Height, dull gender, female. Species, lightning dragon. Skills, lightning bolt, short circuit, good with technology. Fluent English. Likes, her brother, flying, clouds, rain. Dislikes, dry places, evil, lots of sun. Personality, energetic, outgoing, friendly. Rider, Alex. Sexuality, straight. Wave, dragon form, age, 20. Height, dull gender, male. Species, water dragon. Skills, swimming, flying, running, night vision. Likes, water, sky, friends, his sister. Dislikes, bright light, mornings, evil, dry places. Personality, quite, responsible, nice. Rider, Baxter. Sexuality, bi. Ashir, dragon from, age, 22. Height, tall species, angel/demon hybrid. Skills, angel and demon powers, extreme fire/light, teleportation, stuff like that. Likes, flying, friends. Dislikes, seeing anyone he cares about hurt, leers, and the color pink. Personality, analytical, nice and caring. Rider, Jack. Sexuality, bi. Shadow, dragon form, age, 20. Height, dull gender, male. Species, dark dragon. Skills, hallucinations, manipulation, cover up. Likes, evil, flying, dark. Dislikes, day, bright light. Personality, secretive, evil, shy. Rider, Gabriel/Jasper, for now smiling face with horns. Sexuality, gay. Prologue, The Crash, Zeke, POV. Me and my brother, Jack, are riding two of the royal dragons. I'm riding a dark dragon named Shadow, and my brother is riding an air dragon. You okay? Jack asks. Yeah, I say simply, wiping the tears from my eyes. My heart sinks as I think about the recent death of our father, the king. Suddenly I lose control of Shadow and he spirals out of control. Whoa, I say, trying to gain control again. Jack looks over with a panicked look on his face. Shadow starts roaring loudly. The roars scare the air dragon and it starts to panic and both dragons start tumbling down to the ground. Hold on, yells Jack. I hold on tight to the reins tied to Shadow. At the last second, Shadow rips the saddle off of him and I start falling to the ground on my own. The air dragon does the same and Jack keeps falling with me. I'm about to hit the ground when everything suddenly goes black. The last thing I see before I fully black out is a tall, brown-haired boy standing in front of me. Gabriel, I whisper, passing out. Chapter 1. The adventure begins. Zeke, POV. I wake up in the edge of the forest. I look to my left and see my brother Jack, or at least I think his name's Jack, and I think he's my brother. I grab my forehead, my memory all fuzzy and my head hurts. Hello. Zed. I turn to look at Jack. Jack, I ask. We both stand up and hug each other as if we've been separated for years. What happened? He asks me, also grabbing his head. I don't know, I answer. We start walking, telling each other all that we can remember. So you're saying we were in a fire and someone saved us? I ask, confused. Yeah. I remember fire, and seeing you on the ground, and a man. I think for a bit, not really believing the story, but it's the only one we have. We should head into town. Maybe they will have some answers, he says simply. I start to follow Jack out of the forest and we start walking to a small group of buildings in the distance. Time skip. Jack, POV. Me and my brother Zeke arrive in town, or at least a part of it. In our language this place is called the Sapara, pronounced Sapara, or basically just a central market. We walk around, seeing an assortment of shops and stands selling various things. We decide to stop at a store called Food and Eats. Zeke is about to walk in but I stop him. How are we gonna pay for this? I ask. An image of coins flashes off my mind. I see Zeke scratch his head, and he pulls a small black pouch out of his pocket. With this, he says smiling. And what exactly is that? I ask, as we step into the line to enter the shop. A pouch of Doans. Joanne Z. A confused look crosses my face. A pouch of money, basically. I remember using it yesterday to buy some new riding gloves before. I see him trying to think of something as a tear drops down the side of his cheek. Hey, what's wrong? I ask, wiping his tear away. I don't know. After I got the gloves, something tragic happened. Maybe it was the fire. He asks no one. Maybe, I say as we reach the front. Hello, I am Stephen. I will be your host for today. How many in your party? A tall boy asks us. Oh, only two, says Zeke. Okay, follow me, Stephen says, leading us to a table. Okay, here's your table. I'll be right back with Waters, he says, walking away. A little while later, another pair sits down with us. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Zeke and this is my brother Jack, he says nicely. Why is he always so nice to strangers? I think to myself, as I switch from happy with my brother to new people. I frown so I don't look too vulnerable, and I straighten my sitting position to look more assertive. The pair turns to look at us, one boy and one girl. The boy, the one Zed was talking to, turns to look at him, staying quite frozen. The girl gets up and walks over to Zeke. Nice to meet you too. Sorry, my brother's a little shy. My name is Alex and he's Baxter. Chapter 2. New Friends. Baxter, POV. I stare at the boy sitting at the table with me and Alex, looking at his black eyes. They're like Marbledale, or the night sky. I get snapped out of my daydream as Alex says my name. And this is my brother Baxter. Hi, I say. putting my hand up and down as some sort of wave. Behind Zeke I can see who I guess to be his brother. He turns to look at me, giving me a suspicious look. I quickly look back down at the table. Zeke, POV. I see Baxter look behind me at something. I try to think of what it is and I mentally frown, realizing it's probably Jack trying to intimidate him. So what do you think? I lose my train of thought looking back at Alex. What? I ask. What do you think of coming over to our house after lunch? She says again, a small hint of annoyance in her voice. Oh yeah, that sounds awesome. I hear Jack sigh behind me before tapping my shoulder. Can I speak to you in private? Jack asks me, pulling my away before I can answer. Are you sure about this? He asks me, sounding more annoyed than Alex. I get a bad vibe from that Baxter dude. He was looking at you all weird, he says, frowning even more. Well, I think he's really nice. I protest. They both seem nice. I say again. I see Jack getting ready to fight back, but he freezes. I see something click in his mind before he simply says, okay. He smiles. I give him a suspicious look before returning to the table. I follow him and sit back down. Jack, POV. I pull Zed away from the table. Are you sure about this? I ask. I get a bad vibe from that Baxter dude. He was looking at you weird, I say. I glance back at the table and see Alex and Baxter talking before I look back at Zed. Well, I think he's really nice. Protests Zeke. They both seem nice. I get ready to fight back, but an image of Zed appears in my head. Well, I don't know. He seems really nice, Zed says in my memory. Another image flashes in my head, Zed holding hands with a nice boy. But then I see Zed crying. He said no. He wails. But then I see me confronting him, and us hugging. I come back to reality and smile. Okay, I say simply, walking back to the table. Zeke, POV. We finish our meal and Alex leads us out of the store, Baxter behind us. Time skip. We make it the living part of town called Asper. The name sounds familiar but I can't tell why. Alex leads us to the door of their house. It's a small, one-story house, nothing too fancy. Baxter quickly rushes to the door to hold it open for us, even though Alex was already there. Unlocking it, she shakes her head and steps inside. So you two can stay in the guest bedroom. There's blankets and everything in the air for y'all. If you need anything, just let us know. We're gonna go to bed. I look out the window and see the sun setting. I got so wrapped up in making new friends that I didn't even notice how late it was getting. Me and Jack walk into the room and go to bed, sleeping peacefully. Chapter 3, Adoption Day. Zeke, POV. It's been a few days since me and Jack met Baxter and Alex. Baxter hasn't really talked to us, mostly just going to work as a waiter at the restaurant we went to a few days ago and coming back to eat then go to bed. Alex, on the other hand, hasn't left us alone at all, besides when she goes to help Baxter at the shop. I'm not complaining. She's really nice. She's just a little high energy, but she has really good ideas. She even thought of going to adopt some dragons tomorrow. Oh right, the dragons. I wake up and look at my watch. We are gonna be late. I jump out of bed in a hurry. I know, now hurry up and get dressed. I look to the side and see Jack already getting ready. I rush into the closet, grab some clothes and change. I walk outside and see Jack already waiting for me. Let's go, he says, walking away. I follow him, running to keep up. Jack, POV. Me and Zed walk to the restaurant, seeing Baxter and Alex already waiting for us. I was getting worried, says Alex. Yeah, sorry, I woke up late, says Zed. Let's go, says Baxter, grabbing Zeke's hand. I see Baxter's face turn red, but I don't see it for long before he runs off, me and Alex following them. Time skip. We arrive at the adoption center a bit later and walk outside to the back, where they keep the adult dragons, and start browsing around. Another time skip. Oh, they're so cute, says Alex, squealing. She points at the dragons, a male water dragon and a female lightning dragon. The water dragon is almost as tall as the adoption center. The lightning one is only 3/4 of its height. I see you found some that you like. A man in a suit walks out of a small building, I guess to be the main office. Oh, yeah, says Alex. Okay then, let me get them for you, he snaps, and a bright light appears from the office. A bit later a floating box appears with two small orbs inside of it, one dark blue and one light blue. Here you go, he says, handing the orbs to Alex and Baxter. Wait, how do these work? Asks Baxter. Well, those dragons you looked at were only statues, so you know what their full-grown size is. These orbs contain those two dragons. If you tap the ball they will appear in a smaller form, about the height of you, maybe taller. If you toss it on the ground they will appear at full size, he explains. Cool, says Alex. And what about you two? Asks the man, turning to look at me and Zed. Yes. Oh, yeah, we found something, says Zed, pointing at a dragon with a mix of white, yellow, black, and red on its scales. My dragon. And pointing at a white dragon with swirls of black on its scales. His dragon. Okay. He snaps his fingers again. Another flash of light appears in the office. Another box floats over to us, but instead of two orbs inside, there's three. Here, he says, handing us her orbs, and Zed the extra one. Mine is the same colors as the dragon scales, a mix of white, black, red, and yellow. Zed's is black and white. The extra one is only black. Here, take this as an extra, for free. All of yours are free. I insist, he says as he hands Zed the black orb. Oh, okay, thank you very much, sir. We walk away, starting to head back home. You guys go ahead, I'll catch up, I say, stopping to look at the guy. What's your name? I ask him. I see him hesitate a bit before responding. Jasper, call me Jasper. Chapter 4, Magic. Alex, POV. We arrive at home with our new dragons. From what I know, these orbs have a 97% chance of working, I think to myself, smiling at how we now have dragons. Should we all head outside to introduce our dragons to everyone? Asks Zeke. Yeah, sure. It would be nice for them to be out in the open, I respond. We walk out the back door to the fenced yard. Everyone ready? I ask. Yep, says Zeke. I guess, says Jack. I wait for a bit, then look at Baxter. I see him fidgeting with his orb. You ready? I ask again. He finally looks up at me and hurriedly says, yes I am. All four of us walk to the middle of the yard. It isn't good if we all do it at the same time, I think. We should all take turns, so we don't overwhelm the dragons, I tell everyone simply. That sounds cool. Maybe Baxter should go first, says Zeke. Baxter looks up at Zeke, his cheeks turning a light shade of red. Oh yeah, sure, he says nervously, walking to the middle of the yard. How do I do this again? Asks Baxter. I'll help, says Zeke, running over to Baxter's side. I stand there, smiling. It's nice that Big Brother found someone new, I think to myself. I know your secret, I hear a voice say next to me, Jack's voice. What do you mean? I say innocently. Don't play games. I know you're smarter than you look, Jack says back. Fine, you got me, but why are you so concerned? I ask. Well, because I don't want you to get too brave. You better not mess with my brother or me, 'cause I'm watching, Jack says menacingly. I feel a bit threatened by that, but continue. Of course I wouldn't. Brother seems to trust Zeke, so I do too. I don't hurt people I trust, I say back. Okay then, and how did you get so smart anyway? Jack asks. I look at the ground for a second, then back up at Jack. That story's for another day, I say simply. Jack, POV. That is a story for another day, says Alex. I'm about to respond, but I am interrupted by the sound of squeaking. Oh, he's so cute when he's small, says Zeke. I look over to see Zeke and Baxter both huddled over a small version of Baxter's dragon, a water dragon. Wow, that's so cute, says Alex, switching back to her kid-like self as she runs over to Zeke's and Baxter's side, me following behind her. I wonder what the dragons would look like if they were human, asks Baxter, suddenly regaining a bit of his confidence. I wish they could be human, says Zeke. I notice a small glow emerging from his fingers but ignore it for now. Yeah, it would be cool, says Alex. But how would they use their powers? Asks Baxter, Zeke's hand getting brighter. What is going on with that? I say, pointing at Zeke's hand. What do you mean? He asks. He looks at his hand and nearly falls on the ground. What's going on? Zed says in a panicked tone. Baxter takes a step back. Alex does as well, but I hurry over to Zed. Calm down. It's okay, I tell him, not caring if the others hear. Everything will be okay. Just breathe, I tell him. Got it, breathes, says Zeke. He takes a deep breath and suddenly Zeke's, Alex's, and my dragon orb start to float in the air. Baxter's dragon does as well. Is everything okay? Zed asks, noticing her silence. No, it's fine. Just keep breathing, I tell him. He keeps taking deep breaths and suddenly the orbs and dragon disappear in a cloud of smoke. When the smoke clears, the only people left are me, Zeke, Alex, Baxter, and our now human dragons. Zeke, POV. I open my eyes, seeing my friends frozen. I also see 5 new people scattered around the yard. Who are they? I ask, noticing that my hand isn't glowing anymore. You don't recognize us? Asks a tan boy with black hair fading to white and black eyes. He's wearing a black sweater with white lines going across it and black pants with black and white shoes. He hasn't even met us, Mono, says the person standing next to him. Another tan boy with black hair with red highlights. He's wearing some sunglasses, a long-sleeve shirt with black hat the top half, white in the middle, and red at the bottom and sleeves. He has black pants and black, red, and white shoes. Well, haven't they technically met a version of us? Asks the person standing near the back door where Jack and Alex were earlier. She has brown hair with light blue highlights. She's wearing a yellow hairpin in the shape of a lightning bolt. She has brown eyes and she's wearing a blue shirt with a black leather jacket. She has black pants and yellow sneakers. Most random wardrobe ever XD. Does that really count though, Storm? Asks a boy standing next to Baxter. He has brown hair with blue tips. He has blue eyes and he's wearing a blue shirt with the words Ocean Boy imprinted on it in big black letters. He's wearing dark/camel green khaki shorts. If you all don't know what those are, I'm sorry. And sandals. Wait. Did you say Storm? Asks Alex. Yeah, I'm Storm, says the girl at the door. But that was what I was going to name my lightning dragon, Alex explains in a confused tone. Yeah, who are you all anyways? Asks Jack. All 4 of them line up next to each other. Me, Jack, Alex, and Baxter do the same. Still confused about the new people and how I did magic. Well, as you know, my name is Storm, says the girl with the lightning hair clip. I'm Wave, says the guy with the Ocean Boy shirt. I'm Asher, says the boy with sunglasses. And I'm Monochrome, or you can call me Mono, says the last person. You all are hopeless. We all turn to look at the area the voice came from. Standing in a corner is a tall dark-haired boy, wearing a jacket with a hood over his head. He's wearing black sweatpants and black sneakers. Now who are you? Asks Jack, sounding a bit annoyed. Well, I guess you could call me Sam, he says, with a menacing tone. You don't trust him, says Mono. Who is he? Asks Alex, taking a step back. Sam sighs, looking annoyed. Fine, my name is Shadow. Chapter 5. Exploration. Quick warning. This chapter contains people threatening others' lives and weapons such as guns. You have been warned. Shadow. POV. I stand there, looking around the yard at the people, my enemies. Pathetic. I hear a voice say in my head. My master's voice. Gabriel's voice. You can't even go a few minutes without getting caught. He scolds me. Well, it isn't easy to do so when these dragons can sense your evil on me, I explain. Well, it doesn't matter anymore. Get out of there and I'll send Jasper to get them. He orders me. I sigh and snap my fingers, disappearing. Zeke, POV. Shadow disappears in a cloud of smoke. As it spreads across the yard, the memory of Shadow is stripped from my mind. As the memory fades, my hands start glowing the white light once again, before fading to just a small glow, and disappearing soon after. Time skip. It's been a few days since the arrival of our now human dragons. It took a while to get used to having them around, but it's been fun since then. We also haven't talked about the whole magic hands thing. I think everyone forgot about that luckily. We've been trying to convince our dragon friends to sleep in the rooms with us, but they keep denying the offer. We even decided to go back to a ding-dong. I look up from my journal and at the door. I'll get it, I say. Walking over to the front door, I open it and see the man who gave us our dragons, Jasper. Nice to see you again, Zeke, he greets me. Nice to see you too. What brings you here? I ask. Well, I was just passing out these flyers for a light show, Jasper explains, handing me one of the flyers. I look at it and see the night sky with many different colors of light flashing through it. On the bottom I read the caption, "Chase the shadows away." That line triggers a memory in my mind. Like there's someone I met and forgot about. I don't have time to think about it too much before Jack arrives by my side. Thanks for the offer. We'll think about it, says Jack, closing the door. You okay? Asks Jack. Yeah, does the word shadow remind you of anyone? I ask. Actually, now that you mention it, it kinda does. Jack responds with the same puzzled look on his face as I imagine was on mine a moment ago. No, we look at the door, hearing the whisper. Who's there? I ask, pulling the door open. Behind it I see Jasper again. He's fumbling with some kind of weapon. What's that? I ask, taking a step back. He looks at me and I notice too late that the object was a glowing gun. He points it at us threateningly. Get down. He yells at us, stepping into the house and closing the door behind him. What do you want? Asks Jack. I want for you to follow me quietly or I'll erase your memory. I don't know how you remember Shadow, but I must fix this, Jasper explains. Wait, how will you erase her memories? Jack asks. With his gun, Jasper says simply. Okay, fine, we'll come, I say. Jasper nods and turns around, opening the door. Me and Jack stand up. I look at Jack and see he has an annoyed look on his face. I wink at him and I see a look of realization cross Jack's face before he nods and looks at the ground, acting sad. And don't think about escaping. I may not restrain you, but I will not hesitate to use the memory wipe, he tells us, waving the gun in the air. So it's called the memory wipe, I think to myself. I look to Jack and see him nod to the left. I look over at the direction he didn't see our friends, Alex and Baxter, with their new friends, Mono, Ashir, Storm, and wave behind them. Mono is the first one to notice us. He taps Baxter's shoulder and points to us. He looks over and his expression changes instantly from shock to angry. I put a finger up to my mouth as a way to tell them to be quiet. Baxter nods and continues walking, telling all the others about it on the way. Jasper leads me and Jack down the walkway in front of the house, leading to the sidewalk. Jasper takes a turn and bumps right into Baxter, dropping the gun. Now, I yell at Baxter. He grabs the gun and points it at Jasper. Hey, I'm in no trouble, Jasper says, trying to back away. Stay there, yells Baxter with a sudden burst of loudness. What do you want with Zeke? I mean, my friends, Baxter asks. Jasper looks between all of us, his gaze landing on Alex. I see an angry look on his face and he snaps his fingers, disappearing. So, what just happened? Asks Storm, sounding angry and confused. Well, let me explain, I tell them. Time skip once again. Me and Jack take our friends back into the house and explain everything. So let me get this straight. You were just writing, says Storm. Then Jasper knocked on the door, says Wave. Lied about the light show, says Asher. Which triggered your memory, says Mono. Then Jasper threatened you, says Baxter angrily. And then we arrived, says Alex, tapping Baxter's back. Pretty much what happened. I know it's dangerous, but we have to find him, I tell them. What? Jack says, shocked. We are not chasing him down. Jack yells. Yeah, he could have hurt you, says Alex. You stay out of this. Jack yells at Alex. Hey, Baxter says, hugging his sister. Jack, calm down. I yell back. I can't when my brother is thinking about risking his own life. Jack yells at me. I feel myself getting more and more angry. I don't even know if you're my brother. Our memories are gone. I yell back, not thinking. The room falls silent. I see a hurt look on Jack's face before he runs into the room. I shake my head and sit on the floor, my head hurting. Baxter, POV. I see Zeke on the floor, Alexander friends rushing over to comfort him. I'll go talk to Jack, I say, stepping into the room and closing the door behind me. Please leave, says Jack, looking at the floor. It's just Baxter. I wanted to come talk to you, I say, sitting next to Jack on the bed. He looks up at me and frowns. You're only here because you have a crush on Zeke, correct? Jack asks, sitting up fully. I feel my face get hot and Jack smiles. What? No. I just wanted to say that Zeke may be right. If Jasper has this memory thing you guys talked about, who knows what he took from us all. Maybe even the whole town. I explain. Jack frowns again and sighs. I guess so, but how? Jack asks. Suddenly Jack freezes. Jack? I ask, waving my hand in front of his face. A few moments later Jack snaps back to reality. I know where to find him. We have to get the others, Jack explains. Time skips, once more. Mono, POV, me, and my friends are walking down a path through the woods, going somewhere. Anyone care to tell us where we're going? I ask. Well, obviously we're heading into the woods, says Wave. I swear you're hopeless, says Storm. I see Alex and Baxter just shake their heads and Jack just rolls his eyes. We're heading to a warehouse, Zeke explains. And why are we going there? I ask. Because Jasper should be there, which will allow us to see what plans he's coming up with, says Jack. And maybe Shadow will be there, says Zeke. Shadow, I think to myself. Shadow wasn't that bad, he just scared me a bit at first. I hadn't seen him in a while. We continue walking and come across a clearing. Okay, we can set up camp here. The warehouse is still far away, Zeke explains. I look up at the sky and see the sun setting. Another time skip. A while later we all finish setting up tents, just as the stars come out. Let's head to bed, says Wave. Yeah, agrees Alex. I'm tired. We all head into tents with someone else. Zeke shares a tent with Baxter, Jack shares a tent with Asher, Alex shares a tent with Storm, and I share a tent with Wave. We climb into the tent. It's a little small but there's just enough room to fit. We both lay down and drift off to sleep. Chapter 6. Safe House. Storm, POV. We're walking down a path in the woods. We're almost there, Zeke says excitedly, running ahead of the group. Wait. We need to be careful, says Jack. Fine, says Zeke, slowing down a bit. Ugh, I'm so bored, Wave says to me. Hey Wave, I ask, falling behind the group a bit so we can kinda talk in private. Yes, Wave asks. Do you feel like we've started to feel more emotion or become more alive the longer we stay near Zeke and Jack? I ask. Wave shoots a questioning look at the two then turns back to me. Actually, yeah, I don't know why, but you're right. I've also started to regain a few memories of my own, Wave says. Wait, you too. Maybe that means Gabriel and Jasper did use the memory wipe on more people than just Zeke and Jack, I say. I feel something tug in my mind as if the conclusion is trying to disappear, but I fight it mentally and hold on to that idea. We can talk to the others about it later, says Wave. Yep, I agree, walking back into the group. Baxter, POV. It's been a little while and we can all see the safe house clearly now. So what's the plan? I ask Alex, Zeke, and Jack. Mono, Asher, Wave, and Storm are on the other side. I think we should do a stakeout and wait for someone to come out, Jack suggests. That'll take too long. Hurry. Let's go, says Zeke, jumping up and running down the hill. Wait, yells Jack, running after Zeke. On the other side of the hill I see Wave, Storm, Asher, and Mono run down as well. Me and Alex look at each other and run down. Well look, says Zeke, pointing to a glowing keypad next to a large metal door. I swear sometimes you should just listen, says Jack, shaking his head as he walks next to Zeke. Everyone else does the same. What exactly is this? Asks Asher. Well, obviously it's a door, Wave says matter-of-factly. Oh shush, says Storm. Should we open it? Asks Mono. No. Me and Jack yell in unison. Yes. Alex and Zeke say in unison at the same time as us. I feel we haven't exactly decided, says Asher. Let's just open this, says Zeke, and as he reaches for the door, it feels as if time slows down. Zeke touches the handle, the door swings open, something grabs Zeke's arm, and pulls him into the darkness. Jack, POV. As soon as Zeke disappears, I rush to the door and slam my fists on it. All my emotion leaves me and grief takes its place. I already feel tears streaming down my cheeks. I can't lose him again. I yell in my mind. I tug on the door handle and the door swings open, and when I step into the room, all I see is darkness and an empty room. I collapse to the ground and feel like screaming, but I can't. All my voice is getting drowned out by my sobs as I hug myself. My friends gather around me and give me a group hug. I see their mouths moving, but I can't hear any of it. My thoughts constantly repeating. You failed him again. You let him go again. You won't be able to fix this, but I do hear one sentence slip through from Baxter standing behind me. It's okay, I love him too. We'll find him together, says Baxter. Epilogue. Plans. Jasper, POV. I stand inside an industrial building with Gabriel, standing in front of a control panel. The plans are in place, sir, I say to Gabriel as he walks next to me. We both look through the glass in front of the console, directly at the unconscious Zeke. Should I start the simulation? I ask. No simulations. I think we should use the gun to open a portal. Trap him forever, Gabriel says with a smirk. Not even a small hint of guilt on him at all. But Gabriel. You loved him. He's your ex-cousin. I correct myself quickly. I usually make these mistakes and Gabriel has gotten used to it. I know you make mistakes, Jasper, but I told you, we do not talk about our past. Gabriel yelled. I flinch and I see a small hint of sadness cross his face before returning to the cam. Never mention that again. We've taken care of one of the princes, so the memory process should stop. Now I just need to assert myself as king and take over the little minds of these pathetic people, he explains as if I'm not there. I turn to look at Zeke with worry, but instead I smile. You've almost won, I say. We've almost won, says Gabriel kindly, which is a rare occasion. Now let's get him through that portal, I say, running off to grab the gun. End of Book 1, The Eagle.